We'll see if you guys all come back. Oh, we already have one thumbs up, so somebody's got to be in the house. This is great. We'll see if we can't get this thing rolling again. Hey, Patrick. Welcome back. Thank you so much for finding it. So I think what we were going to do, we were about to look at the, oh, there. Greg, thank you for coming back. Randy, thank you for hanging in there. Crazy. I think, you hear a lot about people's phones overheating and that sort of thing. My phone kind of felt a little bit hot. It's not that hot in here. I mean, it's Oregon, so I'm not entirely sure. Hey, Kirk, thanks for coming back. Woohoo! Hey, Rocky Mountain Bear, thank you. Yeah, we all made it back together, it looks like. And I didn't see some of you guys get here before. Hey, Daniel, I know. I'm just trying to cut stones. I didn't mean to cut the internet. Sorry, you guys. Bob's back. Thank you for coming back. Yeah, we were about to look at that stone, and I don't know if it's because I moved my stone. I touched it. Hey, Travis is here in the house. Cheers to the turtle. It was all the hot stuff going on in the room, right, Randy? Yeah, those sunstones, they be blazing. And so let's get right back to it. We were about to look at the stone. Deja vu. Ken, thank you for coming back yet again this evening. Hey, Pigeon. The other live stream is still up. Huh? Yeah, you know what's interesting is the other live, when I came back to YouTube, it told me, oh yeah, see, it's right there. So I was doing that. So thanks, YouTube. I should probably go try to find this live stream, but I mean, maybe I posted that it was done. I don't know, those of you who do these as well, like, I thought I put the lid on it, but maybe I have to go do that. Yeah, right, Squirrel? I did that for everybody to be able to top off their beverages. There's mine. Here we go. Cheers. Prost, Steinkern, all that good stuff. Hey, is Lisa out there? Special Steinkern to Lisa if you're there. Hey, Afia Raka made it back. You got some more coffee? To your health. Yeah, I feel like one of those other people on YouTube. But I'd have to be doing that at the end. Sorry, Patrick. You got carrot cake. All right, carrot cake and brownies are going on in the audience. Okay, so let's have a look at that gem, eh? Okay, so we're down here. Back to work. Boy, you can see the schiller actually glowing in there, even though it's not in focus. God, I love that. This is what I'm in it for, you guys. Let's see. Can I get that? Yeah. Okay. This is why I love this. Okay. This isn't why I love this though. This part. I'm gonna try to do this all with one hand. Hello. Do this. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna try to get that in focus. That didn't help. But you guys, I'm trying to get you guys a look at. So remember how I was saying that we were going around the circle, every 10 spaces. Well, we were just making those facets just to. Let me see if I can't get that even better. They're not. Whoa! Hi, finger. Why can't it do the stone as good as my finger just then? You guys now exactly know, China has my fingerprints. There we go. Anyways, you can kind of see those facets, but look at that. That's Schiller shining back at you guys, like all that peach from inside the stone. So you can see the angles. We have a tip in the middle. That's the objective of, just removing the material until we get, that shape going on and we have enough for the crown. I feel like, that's going to be good. You can see we're kind of skinny. We're skinny through there. Oh, maybe that's how, like, it just needs to see some of my, like, weirdly rubbed off nail polish, because guess what? I was sanding earlier and that's what happens. So it's only going to be, this gem can only be that deep all the way around. So again, like I said, probably about a 3mm stone. And that you take that material away when you're using your 90 degree. All right. So you guys saw this go from just a preform to this, and what we would do next would be to refine it for the standard round brilliant going over here. Whoop. Oh, we can back this off a little bit, huh? There. Whoa. My phone gets upset at me during these. It gets still zoomed in. Hold on. Okay, so at any rate, it is set where we're 3 away from, we're on 27, and you see how we've got like the long marks, like there's a very long mark, and then there's a medium mark and a short mark, and then the very, very shortest marks. So a lot of these recipes down here, you just, stick with, like, go around the circle doing all, say, like the tallest mark, and so this is going to be hard for me to hold on to you guys and make the adjustment that we need for that guy, but we're going to go back to 3, and we're going to go all the way around the stone, going every 6 spaces. So we'll start off at a position like this, and then we'll go to that medium, and like all the way around that way. And so I'm going to put you guys back up. Hey, Sean. I hope your lady enjoyed her necklace. We'll see if this is unlucky, putting the camera back up here. Hopefully it's not getting too hot. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time for some of the lights, but very hard to see. You can't have too much light on the procedure here. Like, anybody will tell you, like, the more light you have, because especially when you're trying to eyeball the facets as you're going around, you definitely want it lit so good that you can see if it's, like you're lining up your meats, which if we get far enough, we can see what the heck I might be talking about as far as lighting up meats goes. So there's, like, we want to see the whole machine, the whole shebang. This is how we make the sausage, everybody. So I'm going back. You see, I'm dialing back to where I'm on 3, and actually that would be 0, 3, and so okay, got my water going right here, and I've got this dialed in. And so the next thing that I'm going to pay attention to, this is my depth gauge right here. I'm going to be watching, like, I need to set all these guys to the same angle. And so I just missed those comments since I'm pointing down. I can't really see them. So just for a bit, I'm not going to be able to see the comments. Talk amongst yourselves, And so I'm going to try to get these. I just did this one. The little line has pegged. And so I go to the next one, this is a right-handed machine, and curiously, you use your left hand to do a lot of the work, and that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. I love it. Can I say that I love this thing so much? So I thought it would be strange. Here's my right hand. You saw me helping with my right hand before, but this is how you operate. I'm like spying on it with the loop of my right. I do the work with my left. I mean, it's an awesome setup. I do love this. It's rewiring of some people's brains to be able to do it. But for me, this works out really, really good. And then seriously, you do just feel like a DJ. Like I find myself listening to tunes, and I will literally be just sweeping along with the music. And it's incredibly kind of meditative. That's a lot of people say that they don't want to facet because it's just too much monotony, too not paying enough attention. I probably am going to have to go all the way around again because I think I overdid one facet. But for a lot of people, it's kind of just too redundant. Like, you're going around in this circle to not only cut these angles like I'm doing right now, but then we have to, do it for at least 2 other grits. And so by the time, I'm at a 1200 right now, and so we're going to do 3000 for this stone. I mean, we probably won't do it tonight, but you go to a 3000 and then you end with either the cerium oxide for a sunstone, or you can do like a 50 or a 60,000 grit diamond. And and that is really all that the sunstone needs. Sometimes it's just brilliant to the eye at 3000. And some people even just will end there, but I personally absolutely can't get enough shine. There's no such thing as too shiny. And so I typically like to at the very least finish with the a cerium oxide or something as high as a 50 or a 60,000. And so we're looking at there's so much pretty schiller in this one. I'm really glad that we did this. It's going to be really pretty. And so let's go back to you guys being able to see what we just did. So really slow so as not to upset both YouTube and then also Bob's stomach, because y'all are eating like what, carrot cake and brownies, tasty treats, all that kind of stuff. It's raining outside. You guys, talk about January. Man, we had a couple good days. I'm gonna switch it really quick so that we can get a zoom. Hello. Okay. Zoom. All right. Sri Lanka. It's easier to send yo Sri Lanka. I missed that. Wow, that's quite a zoom. You didn't know you could get that close, did you? You didn't even want to? Okay, so see all those little facets that we just put on there? We did that. And can you see how blushy, like, that's not my my hand reflecting in the stone. That pink is the stone. It's so pretty. Let me get it wet so that you guys can see that better. Like I said, you cannot have too much light for this. Yep. There we go. So you can see the pink in there. You can see our facets. Oh, hard to, like, you know, you get some of the facets, and then of course there's water sitting on some of it. 3 days of rain, badly needed, right? Let's see, I wish I could get closer. I know that some people love to try to do the loop trick, but, oh, hello. It's mighty close. Let's see if, there. Whoa, that kind of made me dizzy. Wants to focus on my fingers. You can see the peach in there. That's some nice schiller. See that there's a couple facets that are too big on that. So I would need to go around the circle and recut. But the next step for a stone like this actually would be to cut around the sides. And so that would be the girdle. And you can see that is one of the delineating factors for how big this could be. So you have to cut to the lowest point. And so that divot right there would be where we would be, you know, having to pay attention to. And these guys over here, right there, so that we could, you know, cut all the way around to the lowest point. Because it's kind of an oval right now, and this is going to be a standard round brilliant. And so that's going to take quite a bit of stone away. But you can see we centered that pink stuff rather nicely. And so that's going to be a pretty little guy. And you see facets. Yes, Sonia. Yeah, we have facets. Yeah, so these are the beginning pavilion facets. There's another set that would have to happen, but we'd go around the girdle. And so actually, we can, that's kind of like it's a painstaking effort. It's not all that much fun. We saw the sun for a minute and you panicked. You thought it was a meteor. Really, Sandmaker? Are you in some place that is that supposed to be that cloudy? Kind of like Oregon. Are you in Oregon? Because we actually did not see the sun today. Whoa. There we go. Back on the stone. Back on the stone, Karen. We can go to another stone that's ready for some cutting. Let's do that. Prone to, or is Oregon that prone to meteors? Yes, maybe. Not as much as Montana, apparently. Okay, so let's pan out. And we're going to stop that. And we're going to stop that. So one of the reasons why this is taped down is if you change directions while you're trying to, while it's still on, it can break the machine. So I have it taped because sometimes I reach over here and I just want to turn it off, but you know, like I don't want to fumble it and kill it. Okay. That's awesome that you're like you've got a bunch of family things that are going on right now that are so fun. So we are going to go to a bigger stone, and we'll it's ready for the crown. And so this guy is really pretty. I've taken it from the flat dop and I've put it into the cone dop, and you can see like epoxy dripping down the side. But this bad boy is ready to go. Like throwing your car into reverse on the freeway, no bueno. Exactly. And so like I noticed myself like being tempted to flip the switch to turn it off instead of turning the dial down when I first was getting myself used to the machine. And I was like, yeah, Karen, you're gonna totally kill it if you're not careful. All right, bye for now, Rockin' Wheelers. Thank you so much for coming by. And so, yeah, this one's got some juicy schiller right in the center. And so once I get it onto the quill, which I can angle you guys down to see this part of the procedure. I'm going to take this guy out. So like I said, sometimes I'm not done with this stone, but I need to make sure that it goes exactly back into this quill the way that it was before. And that's why these particular dots have the keys in them. Like I said, they've got that like here divot, little divot there. That's my friend. That makes sure that every time we approach that stone, it's gonna go into this quill the same way. And so in you go. Now, this is like, we're on a different stone, so that we're gonna need a different height for this. We're gonna need a different dial for the angle, because now we're on the crown. And actually we get to start in the same place because both of these stones are being cut as standard round brilliants. And so as per actually the page that I've got open right now, we're supposed to be at 32 for the crown of this guy. And I have to do 47 because of the calibration of my machine. So we're going to this is actually always pretty cool. You can see this guy does, I mean, you can see it changing the angle right here. And when Justin Prim has been taking us on these tours and showing us these different machines, and the old ones where they're jam peg and you can see all these different angles that was now created by my machine, but like that it comes out of these almost gourd looking things that you just literally jam a peg into. It's fascinating. It's so cool, the way that the mechanics work, and then how simple these machines actually are as well. And so I'm going to lower this down. Remember how before it was don't do as I do, but do as I say? Use a flat T to align it your way is much better. I wonder what that's referring to. Thank you, Randy. So usually I want it like not only stationary when I'm finding the right depth, like I'm working on making this part be on the mast at the right height, up or down, so that this just touches the lap, right? The quill just touches the lap. And so I've got a fine adjustment at the very top, low hand right there. And so I'm going to adjust it here to raise this little arm so that it's exactly where I want it. So like, what a beautiful piece. Like, it's almost steampunk in its gorgeousness of both simplicity, but the fact that it gets the job done. I mean, the first time I saw a faceting machine, I'm like, you are kidding me that those really super fancy gems are done on such a simple machine, and yet they're complex, but at the same time, they're simple in a beautiful way. Low tech, but so effective. Off your raka, people who've been watching my videos know I love low tech. I am like the queen of low tech. And so this so speaks the language. I just love it. Flipping the stems and keeping the facets aligned, like that's just really all that the machine has to do. And you see this, like, all these gorgeous architectures for how different even cultures decided to try to work this this particular thing. So I didn't write this time. Immaculate precision. Mwah. I love it. Yes, it is a beautiful thing. And we make such pretty things from it, right? So we want to make sure that it's at the right height, and we started off by making sure it's at the right angle. It's on the right number. And so we're ready to make the correct right facet because we changed the dial to where it's supposed to be. And then the last thing that is like a super good thing to try to always do, like I said, you don't want to divot a good lap, any lap for that matter. And so you usually want to try to start your sweep from way out here. And so if you come down with a weird angle at any time, then hey, Allison, you made it. Awesome. And this is the second live stream too. We had one crash. But welcome. I'm so glad that you were able to make it. And so we sweep from like the edge of the lap in at the beginning, especially just to make sure that if you have something wrong with the stone or the angle or the depth or anything like that, if you cause a divot in your lap, it's way better out here than in the middle of all the business that you want to do. And so we're pretty well set. It seemed like and so you can see my sweep is gonna be like right through here. If I want to improve on where the sweep goes, random thought, wonder if one could facet a meteorite. You totally could. It's just that like the cut would only be visible from the outside, so it would be interesting, like a geodesic dome. But it wouldn't do the thing that facets are usually put in place for, as far as, illuminating the inside of a mineral. But I don't see why not. I don't have any that are deep enough to do that, or else I might take you up on the challenge. Okay, so our sweep is shallow. It's just going through the middle of the plate. And so if I really wanted to, I could change this little guy down here on the base and move it forward. And now my sweep comes all the way up to here. Remember what I was talking about not keeping anything still on the lap, because you'll wear out different parts of the lap faster, like the middle faster than the edges. And so it's nice to pay attention to those things. Now we're ready to go. Has anyone in here ever faceted a peridot from a meteorite? Oh my gosh, would we know? They facet onyx, which is black. I faceted obsidian, which is also black, and it's not totally opaque. This is one of the pieces from that. It's actually, I left it open back because it's not at all opaque, and if you get the backlighting, which you can kind of see right now, then it's quite like chocolatey inside. But yeah, like an opaque faceted stone can be beautiful. You're just looking at the facets on the top. Olivine from, okay, yeah. How cool. The olivine from the meteorite would be beautiful. Yeah, I just need some. Here we go. So getting that rolling. We're gonna still be using the 1200 because we're just starting the crown on this particular stone. And so we're cutting in the crown. This is like some work that is important to pay attention to. I can't space out, because what we're doing is we're cutting the first facet down to what we're allowing the girdle to be. And so I'll make that abundantly clear. Like, that might make absolutely zero sense to you right now, but when you see what we end up doing, you'll get what it is and why we're doing it. And so I'm just gonna, like, at first, I'm gonna be so careful because I'm creating like the expectation for the depth on my machine right now. And so you can see I'm working up here with the, this is my, there, you can see the action a little bit better now. I'm sweeping and I'm looking and I am lowering. But it's not like lowering the whole deal. This is like my micro adjustment up here. And so everybody's machines are different. Like the one that Patrick has is a whole different creature than this guy here. And so it's really interesting to me to watch people working on their machines and what it is that they do to, you know, raise it up and down, or to change their angles even, you know, all the handheld ones like the one that Justin uses too. So need to lower it a little bit more, and we're just we're getting my first facet at the appropriate angle. I'm just cutting down to where I'm leaving just a bit for the girdle. And so I just missed what that was. Somebody make a comment so I can read that. Okay, folks, it's getting late. Oh, Ken, good night. Recently got to see, hey, Jared, thanks for coming. CNC faceting machine. Oh, very cool. Yeah, that is so cool that they're making them. Everybody show that like button some love. Oh, thank you so much, Ken. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Have a great weekend. Hope that it turns warm and not so wet for you. Yeah, that would be very, very cool to see. I just love the fact that they are able to make so many things with the printers and stuff. Like stuff that you really need that they don't make anymore, you know. Like that fellow that Jared took us on the tour of his studio. That was so cool. Michael? Back in sweet dreams. I bet it's expensive. You know what's interesting is a lot of those the machines that they're creating, it seems like they're not terribly expensive. And certainly if somebody's just like kind of doing a home version, then it's not that expensive. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mike Z, what's his last name? But what an absolute, you know, genius and renaissance man. That was such a cool studio tour that we got to go on. And so now I've found the depth for the cuts for this round of facets. I'm still checking on it like a little bit obsessively, again, because my depth gauge is not the most awesome. So what I'm doing is I'm meeting, and what the story is that the outside of this stone has already been cut around the outside like a barrel at 90 degrees. You know, when somebody was asking me if I could like freewheel this, I can, and I could make a perfect circle around the outside like a barrel, or I can facet it. It's faceted on every 6 at the same at the same interval as the some of the pavilion cuts and some of the crown cuts will be. So these are stacked mains. That's what this is called. And so the way that I can tell that I'm in the right place is that the line for my angle is meeting the line for the girdle angle, is meeting the line for the pavilion angle for each one of these facets, because they're at the same angle. And so that actually makes life really a lot easier for somebody who has a crappy gauge and needs it replaced. Awesome. And so that's why I've been doing so much of the standard round brilliance. And we're out of water. Get some more, feed that again. Because I'm talking too much. Letting all the water like just slurp by. Okay. And so Get you down here in the action zone. Now, you know, stones being some stones being harder than others. Theo and I were just having this discussion today about sapphires as opposed to the sunstones. The sunstones cut so fast. You really gotta keep an eye on them because that material is going by so quickly. And like we're almost to the meat of the next meat. Like that's how quick it goes. And that's why I'm doing like these short little strokes. You know, sometimes it's just one more. And then you've got your meats, like maybe one more. But like again, I like to be conservative as opposed to overdoing it. Like I said, you can't uncut it. But he was talking about really liking sapphires because they take longer. So in that way, they're more forgiving. You can't, you know, you're not as likely to overcut it. If you overcut it, then you get to go back around and cut it some more. And the one problem with that, when you're cutting the girdle, is there's only so much buffer you give yourself when you're cutting that thin little girdle. Like when you're done with this stone, it's supposed to be like this, the thin part around the outside, like the whitest part of the stone if you're looking at it. And so you can't make that many mistakes or else, you know, you keep on lowering that crown until you don't have a girdle anymore. And that's the biggest problem with overcutting is that not only have you just made yourself, you know, a bunch more work, you got to go around and do all the cuts again to make them as low as the one cut that you just messed up, but also sometimes you don't have any room for that. Or if you are trying to maximize not having your stone lose a bunch of weight, you don't want to cut away a bunch of stone, or it was only big enough to make, you know, this stone out of, then yeah, you really got to be conservative about your cutting. Yeah, there we go. This and that is the deal, guys. And so that demonstration, we are a few cuts into going around that entire crown, and you just keep on doing that over and over and over again. Kind of tempted to show you guys. There's a little bit of epoxy left on the top, but it's kind of neat to see, you know, what kind of